Whispers Estate in Mitchell, Indiana is not for the faint of heart. There are said to be many spirits haunting this 19th century property, from those who died of natural causes to others that lost their lives in the most horrific ways. Many say that as time goes on, activity in this beautiful home is increasing. So let's take a brief look at the history of Whispers Estate and the creepy way it came by its name. From stories of children to old patients, to something said to be totally out of this world, and not in a good way. The earliest discovered records for the property state that it was built in 1894 and was purchased by Dr. John Gibbons and his wife Jessie somewhere between 1899 and 1901. The doctor worked from the property, seeing patients in his office on the first floor and using various rooms for his treatments. During his many years practicing, there were a variety of people who walked through the door seeking treatment, and if needed, surgery too. As you can imagine, not all outcomes were positive. Visitors to the property have seen a dark shadow stalking the first floor rooms, although it has been seen lurking in other areas of the house too. It's so common to see. This entity has now been given the nickname Big Black. But who is the spirit? Or maybe the right question is, what is this spirit? As psychics claim, it's never been human. Due to the amount of death that is said to have occurred here, could it be a reaper? I know it should have left Whispers Estate when its job was done, so to speak, but could there be something keeping it trapped inside? Like the spirits that are still lingering here, maybe? In the doctor's bathroom, earthquake-like tremors have been reported, and EVP sessions aren't needed, as disembodied voices can be heard without the aid of devices. Dr. Gibbons has been heard and felt in this room, whispering into women's ears, and sometimes getting a little handsy with them too. Pretty sure they didn't sign up for a physical, shall we say. But with all the whispering encountered throughout the property, I think you now know how Whispers Estate gets its name. During the time the practice was in operation, it's believed that surgeries were also carried out on the grounds. Psychics have said there are 4 graves in the backyard, as well as a pit which contains medical waste including aborted fetuses, amputated limbs and other internal organs. The Gibbons couple wanted a family and adopted orphaned or abandoned children. One of these children met a tragic end one Christmas in 1912. It is said that a 10-year-old girl named Rachel was so excited for Christmas Day that she crept downstairs to peek at the gifts under the tree. Whether it was an open flame that the child got too close to, or if she accidentally knocked an open flame over, the young girl set the room and herself ablaze. Burn marks from this terrible tragedy still remain on a pocket door between the parlour and dining room. The young girl was so badly burned that after 2 days of suffering, she died in her bedroom on the 2nd floor, but many believe she never moved on. Paranormal investigator David Heatherly told a story regarding a group of women who had wanted to carry out their own investigation of the house. They brought along a gift of a doll for Rachel, leaving it in her bedroom. After they settled themselves downstairs, they tried to communicate with the young spirit, but it seems Rachel was not in the mood for communicating in the way they'd hoped. You see, they heard a banging noise as if something was bouncing on the floor. But when they went to investigate the sound, what they discovered terrified the group of ladies more than they imagined. It was the doll they brought for the young girl, and she was burnt and smelling of smoke. Rachel was not the only child to have perished here either, as another of their adopted children, named Elizabeth and aged just 10 months old, died in the master bedroom from unknown causes. Guests have heard a baby crying in this room, as well as the distinct odour of baby powder. Jessie Gibbons also died in the master bedroom of double pneumonia. For those who might be unsure what this is, it's when you get a lung infection that affects both of your lungs. They become so inflamed that they fill up with fluid or pus, making it incredibly difficult to breathe. Guests who have slept in this room will very often wake up in the middle of the night struggling to breathe and coughing. Some have described the sensation as that of having someone sit on their chest. But this is not the creepiest thing to happen in this room. Many have experienced with terror the closet doorknob jiggling as if someone is trying to open the locked door. After a few moments, this will stop and suddenly the closet doors will open. One guest took up the challenge and shut the door, only to experience the same paranormal event a further 4 times within a couple of minutes. Since 2006, the property has been investigated by numerous paranormal groups, demonologists and psychics. One event in 2007 was described as 5.5 hours of nothing paranormal, until the spirits decided to have some fun, leaving doubters as believers. There are many tales of who haunts Whispers Estate. Apparently during the 1950s or 60s, a man died by slipping and falling in the upstairs bathroom, while a young boy reportedly met his end falling down the stairs. Another scary experience this place offers has been seen and felt. Guests have seen beds and couches shaking, and if you happen to be sitting on the furniture at the time, you can feel how violently the object is shaking. On many occasions, visitors have said that they would rather sleep close to the door just in case they need to make a break for it. That seems to be the level of fear that this shaking creates. If you decide to take a stroll around the servants' quarters in the night, you better beware. Reports state that when the last person leaves the area, the heavy wooden door will slam shut with serious force, as if whoever haunts this area is glad you're gone. The third floor has left many guests traumatised, and it's not surprising as it is rumoured to contain a portal or vortex. But it's not contained to one room or area, as it travels from the front parlour into the third floor attic space. This is now a room you can stay in, and as you can imagine, many visitors refuse for fear of what might happen to them. They might be wise too, as the people brave enough to sleep on the third floor have reported horrific nightmares or are awoken by the sound of the doorknob being worked, as if someone or something is trying to get inside the room. Explorers of Whispers Estate have also described terrible odours inside the house. I mentioned before about the smell of baby powder in the main bedroom, but other odours include tobacco, cologne, and also the smell of rotting flesh. This is believed to be the scent from dirty medical bandages, or it could be the pit where body parts are said to have been disposed of. If you decide to visit this fascinating and yet creepy place, be warned. Camcorders that have been recording footage of an area can suddenly move by unseen hands, changing the direction of what is being filmed. It really does have a fascinating history, and with all the paranormal activity added into the mix, with whispering voices, the shaking of furniture and other entities, you might want to keep your back to the wall for fear of what is creeping up behind you. Will it want to whisper secrets in your ear or grab at you, pushing you further into the horrors that lurk inside? Does Whispers Estate sound like a property you would like to visit? Or maybe you have already visited and have a story or two to share? If you do, I'd love if you could share it in the comments below. As always, until next time, Dissectors, stay safe out there.